Cool, you're live.
Alright. Awesome. Yes. Yep, let's get into position. Alright, and... No, not that one. Okay, so we're waiting for a second for the players to prepare their decks. They're doing bans at the moment. I'm sure you've probably been told this many times before.
Do you know their deck lists?
No, not yet. So it's going to be a surprise as to what they're playing. I have an idea of what Ozan will bring because I know him, but I'm sure you have an idea as well.
Very limited. Well, we played yesterday, and I think he might change all three decks.
Oh, I see. Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah. The Oxford team had a meetup, so we all have. Very serious. So we all have at least a vague idea of what everyone will be playing.
The Cambridge team, I think, decided the team about midnight last night, so
Yeah.
I don't know anywhere near as organised.
Good. That's ideal. So yeah, we'll just hop into the game as soon as these games begin. Yep. So yeah, what do you think is going to be banned? I feel like there's a consensus of people don't really want to play against Hunter. As soon as you take Hunter out of the equation, you get a much wider variety of possible decks, I think, because Hunter just shuts down so
many greedy decks.
Yeah. If you take out Hunter, all you really need to worry about is Druid. Can be very face, obviously. So
Aggro Priest is also going to look out for. Very scary deck.
Yeah.
But last game we saw both ban Warrior.
Yes, I think that's understandable. The Grim Patron deck is relatively new. People aren't sure what to expect. I mean, there's a lot of them going around. It's only a few weeks old, loads of different variations, and it's difficult to get a grasp of how ridiculous it is.
And also, I mean, Warrior is unlike other decks necessarily. Say you have Druid, where you get ramp, you get combo, and they play fairly similar and have fairly similar matchups against most classes, right? Warrior, Control, and Grim Patron, which are diametrically opposite against almost everything.
Really hard
and
to
you can
block.
never bank on, I've got solid matchup against Control Warrior, but whatever. Patron.
Oh, and it looks like we're in the game. So it was Alician. Yep. And we'll also spectate too. See what's going on there. Okay, so first matchup, Druid versus Druid. That's pretty understandable. Druid's really strong, and you'd expect bans to maybe go out on something else. So this is interesting. Both players have Innovate.
I will say Alician is the Cambridge player.
Yep.
Ozan is the Oxford player.
Yep.
Ozan needs to win.
Ozan needs to win. Indeed. If he doesn't win, then we will be playing each other to decide it. Yeah. So yes, hand from Ozan looks pretty good.
Strong. And you've got the Wild Growth in there, which is fantastic for Druid.
And Innovate.
Which you can
It's almost a dream starting hand with Piloted Shredder. That's awesome.
Now, do you coin Wild Growth here?
I'm not an expert on Druid. I haven't played a huge amount of it, but I would have coined Wild Growth there. It just seems like
I disagree enormously. If you coin Wild Growth, then you've got nothing to play next turn unless you innovate out of the Azure. Whereas if you wait a turn and then Wild Growth, you have turn 4, turn 5, and then you'll probably draw turn 6. If you don't draw turn 6, innovate point turn 7.
Yeah. But I just feel like I like to go with plays that are just like on paper look good. And something like coining Wild Growth, have one more mana all the time isn't bad. And this looks
he's drawn the second Wild Growth.
Yes, I would play the second Wild Growth here. Innovating out the Drake feels a bit iffy. It's not quite strong enough. Like innovating out something that draws one card feels a bit weird. So yeah, I give it a second to make sure. Yes, of course.
Wild Growth on turn 2 or 3 is the best time to play it.
Yeah.
You can cycle a card.
It's risky because your opponent can have swipe, and swipe can just ruin your day. And I mean, here we could even see Sylvanas. There are 2 innovates. It wouldn't be mana efficient. You could see innovate, ancient.
That would. I would. Almost go for that. Test the Drake and beats it.
I like that we're discussing our thoughts and what we'd play just before we play each other, and it adds an extra dynamic to the game that we're going to play. Innovate, Druid of the Claw, just smack it in Torn, doesn't sound bad, but I mean there are so many plays that are good here. Had he innovated twice and put Ancient of Law down, that also would have been great. I don't think there's a huge...
Basically.
Yeah.
Well, I mean... it's not in these days.
Spell...
I assume you draw for 1 with that, so 2 damage plus he has a trait to clear.
Seems
and then
pretty
you're
good.
left awkwardly, I guess you wild growth.
Yeah, wild growth.
But it's just it's awkward.
I mean, it depends on what he draws. I would imagine that he'd go for that too. That seems like the most sensible play.
Yeah, because it effectively makes no difference towards the killing of the...
Yeah. And hang on, it's turn 4, so that would mean boom. No. No.
Got a turn.
Yeah. So you'd have a turn 6 if he plays Wild Growth here, with presumably piloted Shredder hero power, but it depends on how much he values staying on curve.
Yeah.
So.
And he's got part of the combo. So
Yeah. Yeah, the curve is just a bit awkward. As you said, that coining Wild Growth earlier did come back to bite him.
And I do take back, you should do that every time if you're playing Druid. It's a fantastic move.
Yeah. It depends a lot on your act. Like, a lot. So, let's see what he goes for. What do you reckon? Innovate Ancient, presumably, he's thinking of here? It's never bad, is it?
It's never bad. The Wrath into the 3 health is nice and everything, but then what do you do with the 4
exactly.
3 extra mana? You're sort of left floating.
Yeah, and
if
what
you get this Savannah next turn, feels like it's going nicely.
Yeah. I mean, just innovating out a law is never a bad thing. It's, as I say, I always go for things that are just yeah.
He discounts part of the combo, swipe Wrath.
Yeah.
Very important cards.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it's so on curve as well.
Do you play Law or Boom?
That's a tough one.
You play Boom because
it's ridiculous.
There's his board. It terrifies the shade.
Yeah.
Who knows what the way the Boom is?
Yeah.
Because if you play a Law, you're still behind the board. He just clears and plays more stuff.
Indeed. But the temptation with Law is you can draw more of the combo in Farrison. So that, and when you have so much card draw, just in general, drawing first is good. But yeah, I mean, Boom's such a good card. But I think both of those plays were pretty good. I'm sure that on paper one of them is superior, but yeah. And
that's bad.
Yeah, now RNGs will decide the fate of the Shade of Nactimus.
So it looks like he's going to Wrath swipe.
Yep.
Works well-ish. Interesting that he draws with that.
Yeah, I was thinking you just clear the board.
Clear the board apart from the Shredder. But
Yeah. But different plans there from him.
I guess
I see. Yes.
I mean, he's still giving out more of his board. I'm not sure. And then he has to take a risk with exposing that.
Let's see.
If it hits it, it's a good play, but if it doesn't...
Watch it, 2 1s on the face. Face, and... well,
so it turned
that's
out
presumably going to be the death of the Shade, though.
It is. I mean, if you think about probability, 50% chance it hits it.
Yeah.
My maths is really bad.
What subject do you do?
Actually, Law. I'm definitely
I see.
It's definitely unlikely it's going to kill the Shade.
Yeah. Except, that's not how Hearthstone works.
True.
Like, we saw a Hunter game before where a knife hit a 1 in 4 bomb, and then that bomb hit a 1 in 6 face, and then got the max roll. Absolutely poetic. So.
But he's. Well, I guess compared to the Steam Eagle Sniper.
Yeah. I would be tempted to do that in mirror matchups. As a sort of rule that I learned when playing Miracle is when you have a big combo-y matchup, never using your face is something good to stand by, because you can just get comboed down. There's a threshold, and if you go underneath it, you just lose by a turn or whatever. So yeah, and then Farrison sort of makes a lot of sense. Could have drawn with Ancient, except
now he's got
a lot of cards. Yeah, go for it.
So he's got Central Shinax.
Farrison on that hand, you just have to. Yeah.
Double Sevsevil, he does have the combo. He's got potential for
a huge combo. Yeah.
Especially especially with this shading on the board.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
almost
yeah.
over when he draws Force of Nature.
Yeah. I would imagine that he runs one Force of Nature. That tends to be the norm. So, you know, we've got 15 cards left. Could still be a while before we see this brutal combo. But,
now, with his discounted cards, that gives him quite a lot of options here.
Yeah.
He looked like he was considering Sylvanas, and then I see piloted Shredder.
Yeah. I mean, that's maybe what.
It's awkward because he can't deal with Therissian this turn.
Yeah, so you have to.
Which is a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah. I feel like Boom isn't quite enough.
No, and it's a bit awkward with the mana.
Yeah, exactly. Ancient, I'm not sure about. I think I'd be pretty set on the Sylvanas piloted Shredder
because
you can.
The shade is always going to be on the board. So
Yeah.
It's always going to have a target. The
Yeah.
thing it's bad-ish against is Keeper.
Keeper.
But even then, it will clear Therissian next turn, and you still have a piloted Shredder on the board.
Yeah. So that seems like the best value play, but you can go for a heroic Boom, which is never unreasonable.
So
That's interesting.
healed there. So what's that? 14 plus 5 plus 2 equals 16, 21, 23, 25. He's actually played around. No, he hasn't. He's dead to combo anyway.
Yeah.
He would have played around combo if that's dead too. But
Yeah, that's.
so I'm not quite sure. Maybe he missed. Maybe he forgot about the.
Well, there we go. That'll be the game. And Oxford win, which keeps it interesting.
26.
I assume he counted it before he played the cards.
I'm not going to call that.
There we go. Nice one.
That is unfortunate.
That'll be the game. Yep.
Okay, I think both players did things that we wouldn't necessarily have done, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
They were all
They
perfectly
might- yeah,
reasonable.
they were- it wasn't
You know, they all worked
necessarily-
out well. Because even for things like Piloted Shredder, I love it just for the Doomsday. You get Doomsday, just get out. That's just so good. So, there were a few interesting plays in an earlier match where Piloted Shredder traded with Piloted Shredder in order to...
Lord Jiraxis.
Oh, that is
Something you missed.
fancy, isn't it?
Oh, wow. That's rude. We can't look at
So what's this? This will presumably be
It's
nice.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So we've got
I'm
two.
sure he wanted to mulligan away his card.
Yeah, when he clicked the big X, I don't think he went like nah. Like, I think he wanted another one back. So we have a mystery card, which makes it that bit more exciting. Yeah. This looks a lot like
It
a
looks standard demon.
Yeah, with Jiraxis in there, it's not going to be as quick as some of the demon decks, but it could be a lot more
It doesn't need to
powerful.
be against Druid.
Oh yeah, of course. Although faster, more zoo-based decks tend to work quite well against Druid. You can just, Defender of Argus is just, a killer. If you get Argus on two good value cards, it's difficult for Druid. It's. Oh, okay. And the other card was Shadow Flame, I think, the one that was missing, which is good against a hunter, a druid, depending on.
I'm still not used to seeing that card.
Yeah, it seems so strange, but it can be very good. Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan because I don't like RNG too much, which is odd as a card game player. I hate dice rolls, but. No, I'm not the biggest fan because it's like Implosion, but even more extreme. You can get a 1/1 Imp, you can get Jiraxis, and it's very, very crazy.
So he draws in Gambos here, which is one of the Warlock's strongest editions.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's such a good card. It's Harvest Golem, but better in every way. And Harvest Golem's good.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but Warlock's quite lacking on strong class cards, obviously, because the hero power is so strong it's difficult to give them. Difficult to balance. But
I didn't really think he could play. Kept him on. There's no point coining out. He's got nothing to pay to.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. Curve is just so important. It's frequently worth making a weaker play just to stay on curve. Piloted Shredder, perfectly sensible. That was the only play, I suppose.
Sticky-ish,
Yeah. Perfect word to describe it, although this is the ish part of the sticky-ish. In that this could end up being quite awful. We'll see what he gets.
Well, that's not great, actually.
Well, it doesn't
it's
die.
not great for Alician. It's good.
Yeah. It doesn't die straight away. You expect a 3-2, I think, you know, at standard shredder dies, you expect a 3-2, and you didn't get it, so that's, and in this circumstance, it's turned out quite well. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess it's Druid's scary, you try and
you die to swipe either way. Well, actually, it doesn't make a difference when you die swipe, except when imp gets cleared up. But actually it does, because swipe spawn an imp, and then the imp deals with the...
Yeah.
So I guess that's true. I also like the Nerubian egg placement next to each other for that of Argus.
Yeah, if you get Argus on those two, it's brutal.
At some point.
But then again, it's equally sad if you then silence the egg, so it's a sort of double kill. I mean, there's nothing worse than having a 0-2 pointless egg on the board that can do nothing. So, ooh, and excitingly, in Warlock's next turn, Bane of Doom. No, yeah.
Bane of Doom going there.
Yeah.
Suboptimal? Who said suboptimal?
Brings a 4/4 out, and you don't. I mean, just if you can play a Bane of Doom on curve, that can be brutal, depending on what you get from the Bane of Doom. So
Mal'Ganet's on turn 5.
Yeah. Quite a few very big potential ones.
The Druid has drawn Sylvanas, Lurset, he's got a heavy bank of sort of mid-range, very solid cards.
Which is when you really want to see Pharisson, so this next turn could be good. Let's see what goes on here. Abusive Sergeant is nice. Yeah, that's good. I mean, the play I'm immediately seeing may not be the best. And then Coin Bane of Doom? That's what I was looking at.
Yes, actually.
But now may not be optional. What did he get? In gang boss. Oh, I mean, that's fine. You dealt 2 damage and played it. That's about 5 minutes.
It's not a lot of fun for him this turn, but obviously he's got no idea what's going to come after.
No. So, looking at the swipe.
You thought it has to be.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that the Pharisson, it's so hard to play anything but Pharisson because it's just so juicy. But I'm pretty sure that swipe's the best here.
If you play Pharisson, he can't, and you'd have to play something to kill him.
Yeah.
It's not obviously clean up on board.
Yeah. But I mean,
swipe's always available later.
I would still swipe it though, because it's on curve. You hear a power the imp that spawns. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
We'll see what he does. And the eggs don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really hard turn whenever you have such a big hand like this in a game that matters. You know. Yeah, looking at the swipe there. Yeah, thinking really hard. It's nice that he's found a keeper, given those 2 eggs. The keeper's an important draw, you know, not now, but for the future. You just really want to see that. I mean, you even,
Well, he does go for swipe, clears up the board, and he's... What? Where did the imp go?
Game mechanics are hard. I mean, the spawn time...
What is the game text on this?
Don't know, can't see. Well, GG Uz, I'm sure everyone's laughing in Twitch chat, all 5 of them.
Is it every time it takes damage without dying it draws an imp? Or
No, it's every time it takes damage, but it could be that it's been changed so that it always spawns before spells that that activated it.
Perhaps the 4 damage activated swipe, and then the imp activated this effect.
It does seem, it's counterintuitive, yeah. You would expect that the 4 comes at exactly the same time as the 1 everywhere else. But, little tweaks like that are sometimes made.
He was ready to hear it out the imp.
Yeah. He clicked it straight away and then paused, So, but I mean, it turned out fine. Yeah, obviously. And Sylvanas is just going to get silenced, that's a no-brainer.
Well, actually, you probably don't Sylvanas, you probably just trade into it. Well, no. What?
I mean, if you Hellfire, Darkbomb Hellfire is a big board.
It is.
I mean, I'm not sure which variant you were looking at, but Darkbomb Hellfire is approximately on curve, which for a Warlock's okay.
And I was thinking he's probably going to get Sylvanas, thinking, okay, he's going to trade the Therissian into it.
Yeah.
And he will. He probably won't always.
Oh, I see. Yes, of course,
It works.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's better.
you'll
I did embarrassingly didn't see that, but that is good.
It's flashy.
It didn't activate.
No, because I think if you go with the power overwhelming text,
Oh yeah.
that's at the end of your turn, and then so effectively you got that after the end of his turn.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
is their rationale behind that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a flashy move.
It
He's
is.
used 2 cards to effectively steal 1 from him. He's
Well,
now-
yeah. So I think it's even in terms of value because you use 2 cards, you kill 1 card, and you play 1 card. So it's it's like Siphon Soul
It's
or
the
something.
only way
and
he
then-
was going to stop the risk in activating twice.
Yeah. Well, without Dark Bomb Hellfire, which my instinct, because it would be a bigger board than this, but less, a bit more vulnerable to things like swipe.
So this
which
is
aren't.
so unswipeable.
Yeah. You just do not. No.
Make it 10 times worse.
Yeah. So Druid plays.
It's easier. No, he'll go for cheap.
Okay. Interesting.
Next rep is just
I mean, it
strictly
does.
works.
It does remove one of the 4/4s, and I guess he's of the opinion that if I live for a little while, I'll combo him and he'll be dead because he's a warlock and he can't regen health. So that could be the rationale there.
True, but I mean, well, I guess we'd be so away faster.
Yeah. Tricky call wasn't the first thing I looked at, but that was a pretty tough turn. He had a lot of cards in hand. He had Lower Theb and Boom. These are 2 just auto play cards, so it's difficult.
So he's got 9 mana. He could play Sylvanas and Earther, which would be terrifying to
brutal.
get rid of. And he's got combo.
Yeah.
So
I
I
would
suppose
do
you go
that.
Sylvanas, Lurtheb, sticky minions that you can't get rid of because of Lurtheb.
Yeah.
Next turn, combo him down.
Yeah. That
Which is
sounds
very doable.
entirely feasible. Yeah.
See what happens.
There's always temptations to do things like play Boom because it's a ridiculous card, but
Yeah.
But I think all in all, the Sylvanas Lower Theb's a bit quicker, and with combo in hand, speed's always it's a good thing. So
So Lurtheb's got to be incredibly appealing to sort of basically solidify.
yeah.
You can't pull any.
I have no time for games.
So now, does he top deck a big demon?
Well, he doesn't need to top deck it. He can abusive the Void Cooler into Lurtheb or Sylvanas,
Yeah.
into Mal'Ganis. It's an easy game.
Yeah. I mean here.
Then again, he could just clear board with
Yeah.
Shadowflame.
Yeah.
If he clears board,
I was
with clears board with Shadowflame, he gets a demon.
It's,
It's
in
from
hand.
his. Yeah. I'm not going to say I'm not playing demon. But,
Oh wow, okay, that's not the play that I was
No.
looking at. You could have done that without giving him any demons, so I
Yeah.
think that was just...
what's he saving Shadowflame for?
Well no, I was thinking there was a 4 damage minion and a 1 damage minion, put those into the lower third, and then you... Abusive Sergeant. No, he'd still get the Abusive Sergeant, but you'd then have mana to play with, you could clear.
What is the interaction between Implosion and Sylvanas? Did he
If
imp
played
summon
at this,
before
I'm pretty sure, because you have to kill the Sylvanas with the thing that summons the imps.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Now,
Alright, so he plays the Boom.
this is not
Very, yeah. I mean, this is just, there's so many kinds of lethal. And that's not gonna
Mistress of
cut it.
Pain.
Interesting, but that I
The problem is Hellfire. He might deal with Wolf, Boom Bolt, with one damage to face, and the Hellfire.
but Vitality Totem too.
It's always lethal even when it is.
Yeah.
The Treasure Claw.
There we go. That's the game. Okay, so
would you
that
say-
means that we get to
Would
play.
you say? Oh, yeah, it was Ozan one, didn't it?
Yep.
Cool.
That's 2 in a row. 2 for Druid.
And it's 2 in the series.
Yep. Big pressure on whoever's playing last. Oh wait, that's us. So yeah, Don.
Well, I'm a professional, so We'll see how this goes.
Of course,
I don't
of
know
course.
who's next, but that sounds good.
Yep, alright.
That's a good shame.
Yep, sounds good.